Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Sabrent 5-bay 3.5-inch serial ATA hard drive trayless docking station. Now this is a USB 3.1 Gen 2 drive, which is going to be more than enough throughput for mechanical drives like the ones I plan on putting inside of here. And this isn't a brand spanking new product from Sabrent, but it's still an incredibly relevant one that is going to be very useful for me personally, and I also think many of you out there that subscribe to my channel. So at roughly $280 US, I will include a link in the description. This was sent over by the manufacturer for review purposes. The beauty of this is that you can take, as noted, 5 mechanical drives. In my case, they're going to all pretty much be 8 terabyte drives. Throw them in here. They have individual locks in the event you do want to actually lock up your drives. Individual power buttons, because you can choose which to keep on and off. And this doesn't have any brain. By that I mean no RAID array. You're going to have to depend on software for this. So this is literally just a giant enclosure for external storage that are individually addressable, which I think is great. We have an internal power supply, which means no power brick. We have a Kensington lock, which, you know, better to have it than not. A 120 millimeter fan to cool this whole thing off. I've already mentioned the locking keys, the 5 drives, and then we also have a USB-C port on the back for further expansion, which is really nice because that just means it's going to allow you to connect yet another drive of your choice. So if you want to connect another NVMe drive, and this still has enough throughput to deal with it. You know, we're not talking about Thunderbolt throughput, but still enough throughput to get basically a gigabyte a second, which, you know, many systems out there support. Maybe you want to connect one of these guys to do some cloning. The point is that it's good to have yet another port. And as I mentioned, this does not create RAID arrays, but again, you can easily do that with software if you want to set this up for redundancy and have things duplicated. I think that's a good way to go. Do I think you need 5 of them? No, but that's addressable. So however you want to set it up, it's to your liking. And I think the beauty of this is that I will no longer have individual external hard drives. They're all going to live inside of this docking station. And that's really the way it should be. I don't believe in putting mechanical drives inside of my desktop systems any longer. Forget about laptops, right? That's long gone. So this is ideal, even here in 2021, for anyone like me who has a tremendous amount of content, which I do from this channel. I've been filming in 4K since 4K became available to consumers. So I just have so much content, it's ridiculous. And that's the beauty of a device like this. So the first thing you're hit with, the keys to actually open up each of these bays. And then we have the actual, oh, I don't want to drop that, so let's come at this a different way, shall we? Let's do this. And this is all metal. I'm destroying the box in the process, which was not my goal. This is all metal, like everything from Sabrent, I should say. For those of you unaware, literally everything that Sabrent makes pretty much these days, well, all days, not these days, is metal. So we've got some cables there, a little bit of paperwork that I'm going to grab and just slide this out of the way. And again, I think this is really useful for anyone who, like me, and I know many of my subs, that has mass storage or just has too many external drives and you want to clean things up. So they include 2 Type-C cables, one to Type-A and one Type-C to C. That pretty much does the trick for the I/O on this. And let's take a look at this thing. I will reiterate, I love the fact that we do not have to deal with an external power brick, that everything is built in. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Something just shot out. We'll see what that was. Hopefully nothing too important. But yeah, that's a big deal to me because I personally have no interest in power bricks anymore these days. I mean, where you have to have them, you have to have them. But there you have it. Really clean. I think it's aluminum, but I'm not positive. But certainly heavy duty, no question about that. That's why when it, bounced on my desk here, a screw shot out from somewhere. I'm not sure where. I'll have to identify where that actually came from. But either way, this is a really nice piece of kit. And its footprint isn't that large, considering we've got 5 drives. Again, you can see those individual power buttons for each one. That means you do not have to have them all running at once. And they're going to just populate to the system you've connected it to as individual drives. That's it. So not a network storage device. That is not the premise. And at the back, you can see the Kensington lock right there, and then the 2 USB ports. So obviously, this one is the one to connect to the computer that you will have this essentially always connected to. And then you have the hub. So this is the port you'd be using for your additional drive or whatever peripheral you want to pipe through the connection. So just good that they thought about giving us additional expansion. And then, of course, the dedicated power switch and your power plug for driving this. So again, really nice hub. This is something that, there are other options out there, but Sabrent is a name I trust. And I was purchasing their products long before I had any formal relationship with them. So, I give credit where it's due. When companies do things right, I praise them. When they do them wrong, I criticize them. It's nothing new here on the channel. And I'm expecting good things from this. Again, the throughput, some people might be wondering, why not get something that has, USB 3.2 capability? But remember, these are mechanical drives. And there is no way we're going to achieve really that much when it comes to data transfer rates. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's unlikely for the majority of users to touch that. Really, what you have to worry most about with something like this is picking the right drives to put inside of it. And I say that because, taking drives out of external enclosures, forget that voids warranties, and buying internal drives that really have the proper appropriate ratings to be considered library quality storage tend to be very expensive. So that's a whole nother story for another video if I were to ever address it. But either way, this thing is a beast. It's got everything you need, and for me, it's going to clean up an array of external drives that I have no interest in having, 5 different wires to 5 different enclosures. I don't care if they have hubs built into them or not. I just want one piece of hardware that can house all of my content. And Sabrent has the device for it. So I'm looking forward to getting this thing set up. And of course, I will do a follow-up video once that happens and let all of you know how it went. I'm just making sure that screw didn't come from the 5-bay enclosure, but it didn't. I do not see anything there. So again, this thing's a beast, and I'm not surprised because Sabrent knows how to make some really high-end hardware. Any questions or comments? And of course, this is the power plug. As I said, everything is internal. You gotta love that. That's one of my favorite elements. But any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe and please stay safe. Later.